start the music.
Oh my goodness.
I'll tell you when it starts.
Power on. Bluetooth mode. Auxiliary mode.
Welcome to Ahead of the Curve podcast, season 1, episode 7.
Alrighty. Good evening, everybody. We are here with the vivacious Krystal and obviously Coach 10. We're getting started here. We've got a very heartfelt podcast today. I hope you guys are excited. We're gonna get ready here. Do you have your coffee?
I do have my coffee.
Yeah, I've got my coffee too. I've also got some chocolate chip cookies, guys.
Cheers.
Alrighty, so today we are actually gonna be hosting our guest, Miss Krystal. So you guys get to learn a little bit more about her and her businesses and what she does. And so, yeah, let's get started. Alrighty, cool. So welcome to another season of Ahead of the Curve. And we're going to be presenting LegalShield today. So obviously, LegalShield also has a Habla Español. And so please, Ms. Krystal, tell us a little bit more about your culture, your background, and your family.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for hosting me this evening. First of all and foremost, of course, is my faith and my family, my friends, my wonderful, amazing best friend over here, McNutt-Mukosa. Definitely taking family first is a huge thing for me. So that is a little bit about me. I also, I love flying. I'm getting my pilot's license. I'm pretty excited about that. I love motorcycles. I love horseback riding, and I love shooting guns. I grew up, hunting and stuff like that. So it's been an integral part of my life. I also believe in hard work ethic. This is a picture of, thank you for putting these pictures on. This is a picture of my dad and I when we would go wood hauling and then split it up and put it up and just learned.
Chopping that wood.
Exactly. Just learned how to work very hard at a young age and know the price of hard work. So that's something else. Back home, just a little bit about my town back home. We'd always have parades, horse races, rodeos, skiing. And so this was definitely part of me growing up. I got to experience all these as a little outdoor girl, loved the outdoors. Another thing we do a lot of was hiking, fishing, camping. I posted this picture. It says on there, if you are attacked by a cougar or if you see a cougar, run fast. So I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh my goodness.
I know, right? I love doing community outreach as well. And that is a big thing for me.
Is that my tent?
That is your tent. And actually, this was the Special Olympics that we had not too long ago, Seminole County Special Olympics. And then we also worked with the cystic fibrosis Sunny Shores camp at Golden Bear every year as well. And just a few other ones, but I love to sing. So I usually, do the national anthem and stuff there as well. So.
By the way, guys, if you have not looked her up, look up Coach K singing the national anthem at the Golden Bear Kings Point cystic fibrosis and Special Olympics, Seminole County. She sang the national anthem, completely blew the lid off of everybody. And so, do you also do any more community outreach programs or?
Don't do, I mean, I do a ton of community outreach programs, yes. Working with kids is one of my biggest things. As you can see here, I love basketball, volleyball, and softball. I've played, coached, and officiate as well. Something you probably don't know about me is I played baseball, boys baseball on the high school baseball team against Brian Urlacher, who is well known from the Chicago Bears. So, yeah.
Awesome. So real quick, guys, I'm reading Coach K's bio here. She's got a bunch of things that she's got going on. She loves to dance, sing, softball. And so, yeah, she's been in the business for over 17 years. Other jobs include high school basketball, volleyball, and softball coach. Her family consists of her spouse, AKA Lerty, moi, McNutt-Mukosa, professional golfer. And then hobbies, she likes singing, horseback riding, camping, hiking. We already saw the pictures, beautiful pictures. She is currently a resident of Winter Park. Her burning desire is to help kids off the streets and get into activities that help keep them off the streets, such as playing golf, basketball, volleyball, entrepreneurship, life skills, etc. She is also a professional singer, sang at the MGM Grand. And one of her keys to success is a wise man is willing to research what a fool takes for granted. All right, Miss Krystal, we're about to fire up here in a second. And so we just wanted to kind of figure out, number one, how has the whole COVID landscape affected you and your business that is LegalShield?
Yeah, well, definitely. Thank you for asking that. It has affected me in more, I think, of a positive way. We've had so many people calling in lately who, with all this COVID-19 going on, there were legal things that are popping up left and right. And so people are calling in and asking questions. We've had people calling in about like their health insurance and if they would still be able to keep their health insurance even though they weren't working. We've had people calling in. We've got a lot of general contractors who, their business has gone down and just wanting to look over contracts and stuff like that. But yeah, there's been an influx, I think, in more people now calling and wanting to know about their legal rights. So it's been a pretty big, it's been good for us, actually.
Awesome. One of the questions that I wanted to ask was, now that the lockdown is over and cities are starting to open up again, are you getting more customers, or what does that look like in terms of the entire landscape?
Yeah, so, we're going to be frank and we're going to talk about this because I feel that this has been a very trying time in society. As we all know, there's so much stuff going on the news and people being pulled over, people just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And there's just been a lot of bad, evil things going on in this world today. And with that,
I think I also wanted to add that, when we thought about doing this podcast, Coach K and I, we were actually going to have a guest. And so we decided to change things last minute, simply because we believe that, number one, both Coach K and I like to be polite. And, we always like to kind of, you're more better off listening in life than actually kind of engage, being confrontational. And, the older I get, the more I'm just kind of more of a good listener and I observe. But on this particular topic, we wanted to kind of share because we've had a lot of friends calling Coach K and going, hey, Krystal, we heard about that thing. Hey, can I get myself protected? And, and the entire landscape of, whether it's a systemic problem or, racial injustice across America.
Yeah.
We wanted to touch upon this because, number one, we didn't want to turn a blind eye to it. And so we're going to try and attack this in the most polite way possible, because we've got a service that actually helps Americans, number one, know their rights. I think a lot of these problems that are happening are an escalation due to a lack of information. And so we wanted to kind of implore with our viewers and visitors to kind of just go through, number one, what happens when you do get pulled over, and what does that look like? Because nowadays, obviously, there's a lot of minority groups that feel in fear of their lives. And number one, I also just wanted to say, we were kind of piggybacking off each other earlier, is that we believe, we don't know whether it's 90% or 99% of police officers are great. Maybe it's 99.9, and maybe there's just a 0.1% that, requires more training, requires more, insight, patience, what have you. The problem we had was that 0.0 whatever percent it may be, seemed to be catastrophic. And that is what is making people very antsy at a time when we've already got COVID going on. And so, we just wanted people to kind of live their lives more and worry less. That's the whole motto of the Head of the Curve podcast. So we want to get right into this, guys. And so it's a thought-provoking podcast, but we're hoping that, you guys can kind of enjoy this service that is out there and spread the word. All right. And then, Coach K, I think, you've got, what is it like? Do you have any stories kind of being pulled over and, using what is it, LegalShield?
Yep, most definitely. So my testimony, we actually were on our way from New Mexico to Oklahoma and ended up getting pulled over in a little town in Texas.
Ooh.
And to make a long story short, I had a African-American friend driving. I had a friend of mine
Not me.
No, not Coach Stan here. I had a friend that was from Sonora, Mexico. Her first language was Spanish. And then I was sitting in the front seat, and we ended up getting pulled over. Now, I had a broken windshield and it started to crack and you could see it. So the day before, I'd actually taken it in to see if I could get my windshield replaced. Make a long story short, the guy goes, well, I got to order it. I said, well, can I pay for it and at least have a receipt for it? And, in case anything happens. So he's like, yeah. So I ended up getting the receipt. We're driving through Texas. We get pulled over. The cop said that the reflection was too bad. Now, it was a little tiny crack on the windshield. It was too bad. That's why he pulled me over.
Whoa.
So he asks my friend to get out of the vehicle and step to the back of the vehicle to talk to him. Now, if you're getting pulled over for a windshield, why are they asking you to get out of your vehicle to step to the back of the vehicle to be questioned? So to make a long story short, my friend steps out of the vehicle, goes and talks with the police officers, being as polite as can be, and automatically I end up getting on my phone with my attorney, and I am talking to my attorney at 3:00 in the afternoon on a Wednesday afternoon. My attorney is like asking me questions like, well, is the police officer asking if you guys have warrants? Does anybody have warrants in the car? I was like, no. They were asking me just a few questions that the police officers might be asking. And then the attorney.
This was 3 a.m. in Texas.
3 p.m. 3 p.m.
3 p.m. Oh, 3 p.m.
Yeah.
Afternoon, broad daylight.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So we end up being on the phone with the attorney. The attorney said, I'm going to go ahead and wait on here until they release you to go. So after the police officer talked with my friend, they're back there for almost 20 minutes. And the other police officer comes and talks to me and my girlfriend, and he's talking to us for probably a good 15 minutes. And then finally, they let my friend come back to the front seat to get in the driver's seat. They go back to their car for another 5 minutes or something. They come back and they leave. They let us go with a warning. Now, after about 20, almost 30 minutes, this is the coolest part to me, is we're starting to drive off and the attorney is still on the phone. They were waiting there until we were completely done with the police officers in case something was to happen or go down. Right then and there, they would have been calling our family to, to get a hold of somebody in regards to helping us. So just having that power of being able to call an attorney and have them, tell us our rights at that moment are just amazing. And that's what it is that LegalShield does. That's the power behind it.
So as I'm kind of, monitoring the Zoom chat here, and I'm also monitoring the YouTube chat, just wanted to send a special shout out to Ms. Krystal for doing this and being brave enough to touch upon this topic. And so we want to just share some information with you guys. And so, and just kind of help you guys worry less and live more. So the motto for today's podcast, season 1, episode 7 is don't get mad, get LegalShield. All right,
Awesome.
Don't get mad. And I know there's a few mad people out there, and it's trying times for everybody. So don't get mad, get LegalShield.
Awesome.
All right. So Coach K, how do the viewers, stay ahead of the curve and prevent from falling behind of the curve with your services, that is LegalShield?
All right. Well, I think a lot of times, what our service does is, number one, we try to help keep things on a preventive basis. So a lot of times people get into situations or contracts that they wish they wouldn't have signed.
True.
Now,
a lot of golfers out there getting in contracts.
I was going to say marriage certificates don't count either, but
okay.
The type of contracts I'm talking about is maybe you go to purchase a vehicle, or maybe you're going to purchase a home and they don't have their contracts reviewed and they end up, purchasing a vehicle with like a 29% APR, or whatnot. So having attorneys review things, it's just like the wealthy don't sign anything until their attorney reviews it. And so it just makes sense that you would have an attorney review it yourself. So that is a way that we help keep people ahead of the curve, so they're not getting taken advantage of.
Okay, cool. So do you guys cover certain parts of the law, or how does that work?
So we actually cover all areas of the law. We cover all areas of law in all 50 states here in the US, Canada, and the UK as well. A lot of times we have people who are calling in about maybe it's a dispute, or maybe it's just they have questions about their tree falling, their neighbor's tree falling over into their yard, and maybe the leaves are getting in their pool. They just want to know what their rights are and cutting it off. And then we have the very trivial events where maybe somebody's being sued and they actually have an attorney to represent them during that lawsuit. So.
And guys, this actually touches upon me, because before I heard about LegalShield, I actually had a group of individuals steal a proprietary, information from me, and I didn't have the legal representation to actually fight them. And so, kind of, I don't know if you've ever sat in a position of just wishing you had power, right? Hoping you had power to protect yourself. And so ever since then, and when I heard about this program, it made sense to me. And I was like, you know what? If you want to go into business, whether it's small business, whether it's just doing business with your best friend, I encourage everyone, especially my athlete golfers out there, guys, don't get into a contract without having it reviewed. And make sure you have some sort of legal representation such that if someone decides to take you to town, you need to have paid professionals at a whim that can come and represent you, at whatever time. So I think moving on, Coach K here is, I guess we had a few testimonials that you wanted to did you want to read these? Did you want to share these? Or
yeah, definitely. I'll go ahead and read these because I think it's really important to understand how LegalShield actually works. So had some speeding tickets and was referred to an attorney who was and is very knowledgeable and easy to talk with. Thank you, LegalShield, provide a law firm and current attorney. We had another one from Texas. I was called by my provider attorney with an hour of my request to speak to an attorney. I was given advice on a situation that affected my tax return, which saved me over $6,000. My provider law firm has been a great source of legal information over a range of topics since I have been a member. And I just want to kind of correlate to this, Coach Ten. I know that I had a contract reviewed recently, and the attorney spent over an hour with us just going over this contract in and out, what was in our best interest versus, they had an exit plan, but what was ours. And so it was definitely very, very helpful. This was a member out of South Dakota. I called because I did not feel comfortable with the person who I was dealing with as I was attempting to sell our piano on an online advertising site. Your representative agreed with me and suggested I call our local police department and run it by them. I did that and was told that it was probably a scam. Sure enough, the check I received from the suspicious party eventually bounced. Had we done what the scammer wanted us to do, we would have been out $1,300.
Wow.
So, I mean, we don't think about legal issues a lot of times. We don't think about what might be a legal issue because we've never used attorneys. I mean, sometimes attorneys cost a lot of money. And so sometimes you're not going to hire an attorney to look at a simple, online sale of a piano,
Well, and my whole thing is, especially like for me, when I get into any contracts with any potential sponsors, anybody that wants to endorse me, every single time I've called the law firm, they kind of walk me through the give and take. And they've actually helped me negotiate contract deals with potential sponsors, with potential business investors in my golf career, such that I now can negotiate what's in it for me as well as what's in it for them. And when you know that and you have that position of power, when you've consulted with an industry professional that has seen how contracts can go wrong, it gives you a lot of power.
Awesome. This is another testimony from a New York member.
Mhm.
After going back and forth with an online seller who was adamant to treat me unfairly and refused to honor our written agreements, I contacted my provider law firm. They wrote a letter on my behalf and bam, they refunded me as per the letter's request. I don't believe I would have got that refund otherwise. Thank you, provider law firm, and especially thank you, LegalShield. I think this is really huge to understand that another thing that our attorneys will do is actually write letters on our behalf. So if we feel we're being mistreated and the attorneys deem it necessary to write a letter on our behalf to rectify the situation, sometimes a letter from just you and I, doesn't get any clout at a big company, but a letter from a law firm is going to be on the top of their mail the next morning. So I think it's huge to understand that.
Right.
And then we just have a few more here. I was really impressed with my provider lawyer. He was personable, took his time, answered all my questions, and I was just getting a document reviewed. I was very happy with his services. He was professional and went well beyond what I expected. And as I mentioned, the contract review was huge for us. It's actually saved us. I did another one with another company and actually saved me over $5,000 over a year span. So just
That's
for having it reviewed.
And as she's reading this, guys, I'm just amazed at how this is from Wisconsin to New York, South Dakota. I mean, it just seems like you're reading from everywhere on the map.
Yep, definitely. Wisconsin member stated, my wife had breast cancer and had a major surgery the last of June. All turned out well, but we were told our insurance was canceled. Your legal team saved us thousands of dollars. Best money we have ever spent.
Wow.
With the COVID-19 and everything that's going on, there's so many insurance claims and everything that's going on that people are very, very unaware of. And so having something like this be able to review your insurance policies and understand what's in that insurance policy, understanding that lingo, that's something that the attorneys do. And I think it's huge to understand that.
Cool. And so I guess one last one here from North Carolina.
Okay, they say, my provider lawyer responded very quickly. He was polite, very knowledgeable and professional as he explained a legal document to me. His explanation was very clear and answered my questions, even though they may have been redundant. Before LegalShield, I would sign documents without really understanding all the information they contained and the possible consequences. I now have confidence in what I'm signing and peace of mind that I've done the right thing.
Guys, until someone's stolen a business from you and made tens of thousands of dollars in your hard work, this doesn't really apply. So I hope you guys are kind of tuned in right now, and you guys are gonna kind of, listen in, grab your seat, because she's gonna go through something that's gonna change your life in terms of empowering you as an influencer, as a brand ambassador, as a brand itself, as a small business owner, entrepreneur, as a real estate agent, mortgage broker, nurse, what have you. All right. So yeah. So moving forward, so LegalShield pretty much is a life event solution, right? That helps average Americans
stay ahead of the curve.
All righty.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So what motivates Krystal to be a successful executive director? Ooh, with LegalShield.
Awesome.
She throws that in my face almost every day, guys.
I think one of the biggest things for me is just I have a passion for helping people. And, with all the stuff that's going on around us, we see so much negativity and so many things going on right now that I'm trying to help people find a solution. And to me, this is a solution to a very systematic, problem or systemic problem. So this was actually our motto in 2019, a better world, bringing everybody together. It was our international convention that we had. And just really this picture emphasizes really what I try to emphasize is just helping people one person at a time. So
what I love about, LegalShield is it's a company that actually promotes, out of many, we are one as a people, right? And I'm kind of stealing from a Jamaican slogan from all my island friends there. But no, on a serious note, I really just think we are living in a time where as human beings, we all need to kind of band together, right? Everyone breathes the same air, everyone bleeds the same. And so we need to continue to see ourselves as human beings, right? And when a human being does wrong to a certain group, I think we need to all speak out in or protection intent, I guess is what I'm trying to say for that group. And so we just love the fact that, this is the company motto. So my next question is, what separates LegalShield from other conventional legal services? And we already had somebody in the chat kind of talk about that. So what separates LegalShield from, say, hey, me going down to DSK law firm or Hansel and Gretel law firm or any other law firm out there?
Well, I think the traditional, I have a lot of friends that are attorneys, so I love attorneys. I think what happens though, a lot of times is their clientele is very specialized. So they have to have a certain clientele that can afford $100, $200, $300 an hour for their services. What LegalShield is intended to do is to help the average North American who can pay a monthly subscription on a budget and still be able to afford a top rated law firm. And I think that's the twist here is you're not getting, a paralegal or somebody fresh out of college. Our attorneys are averaging about 22 years in practice. So you're getting a bulldog attorney when you utilize our services.
Shout out to all my Georgia Bulldogs out there. All right, and so moving forward is, what are some of the challenges that you face in your business? I mean, Miss Executive Director, just.
Well, I think some of the challenges that I get would just simply be people not really understanding what LegalShield is. So a lot of times we get people who, might have a legal issue going on, and then they're looking for a legal service or something cheaper than, a $200 an hour attorney.
Okay.
What we are intended to do is you have the service as a preventative way to keep ahead of the curve. But
Oh.
also, then you already have it to be able to utilize it for things that arise later on in life.
So I can't
So-
do a crime and then sign up with LegalShield.
Well, let me ask you a question, Coach
Yeah.
10. Can you get in a car accident and then go get car insurance and have them cover your car? No. So
Negatory.
that's similar to kind of like what our services do. However, we will cover those pre-existing issues if people do have them, just at a discounted rate. So you still can get help.
Oh,
But you
okay.
always have unlimited consultation no matter what.
Nice,
Mhm.
nice. Cool. Can you think of any other challenges?
Other challenges in our business. I don't
Oh,
know.
Miss
I
Priscilla
don't
from New
think so.
Mexico says, oh, I wish I could tune in and share what LegalShield has done for me
Aw.
as a member for $20 a month. Wow, thank you. Shout out Miss Priscilla out there in New Mexico, Las
Thank
Cruces.
you.
She's tuned into YouTube, so she can't, call or chime in. Or maybe we need to do that in the
Oh, yeah,
future.
do a
Is kind of
call-in or something.
have a call in for viewers.
That's a good idea.
Maybe that's something we can look forward to in season 2. So kind of, getting back on the ball here, what are the key factors that have that make you successful in your business?
Well, I think first and foremost, hard work, and you have this again. Hard work ethic, definitely.
Chop them trees, baby.
Exactly.
Hey, I went to visit her dad, and I thought chopping trees was gonna be, just because I do my push-ups and sit-ups every day. Guys, it is a lot of work. Like you sweat, you get blisters and calluses, and yeah.
So I think hard work ethic. I also think integrity, doing what's right when nobody else is watching, because there's always somebody watching. And so I think that's a major one. And then I also believe in attitude, in having the best attitude that you can have to succeed. You've got to have the right mental aptitude. And those are my
Okay, so how do the viewers get started? Because we've got them on the edge of the seats right now. They want to kind of figure out, how do they get started with LegalShield?
Well, there you go. You guys can actually go to my website. There is our 888 number. Please call the offices. We're open from 8 to about 7 p.m. every day, Monday through Sunday. So please feel free to call me, and I'll definitely help you out if you have any questions, or you just need help. We definitely can help you there.
Cool. Well, we wanted to kind of share some of the online resources, any tips, recommendations that you may have for viewers at home.
Okay. Well, we actually have an app, and you can actually download the app for free. If you are interested in utilizing some of the services just to try it out, you can actually download the app for free. I will post later on into the YouTube link down below in the comment section. I will post my free link to be able to download the free app, so you guys will have access to that. Everything that I do is simply from my app. So if I need to call my attorney, I go to my app. If I need them to review a contract, I'm going to my app. If I need to do my will preparation, I'm going to my app. If I am pulled over, being questioned, detained, arrested, I'm going straight to my app. Now, hopefully I'm not on my app while I'm driving, but if you are ever questioned, detained, or arrested, we have a 24-hour, 7 days a week access to our attorneys, all through our app. So this is what our app actually looks like here on the screen. I can simply go there. I can just call my law firm. Oh, you're going to actually pull it up. Awesome.
Correct.
All right. So we're going to go ahead and pull it up on the phone itself, so you can go ahead and see what it actually looks like. All right. So, there's Ntenwa right there. Awesome. All right. So the first thing you have on the app is you'll be able to call the law firm. If you just click it, it'll take you straight to the number, and you'll be automatically calling your law firm. The second one in the middle is starting a will or other document. There's different documents in there. So if we just click on that, it's going to take you straight to all of our different questionnaires. We've got prenuptial agreement questionnaires, bankruptcy questionnaires, divorce questionnaires.
Hold on, I wanted to go to that prenuptial agreement questionnaire.
Okay. But you have different things that you can start, and you just fill them out, and it actually holds your spot every time. If you have to close out of the app, it'll hold your spot of where you were. So if you're just trying to fill out your will and you've only got about 5 minutes a day, you can just go in there, fill out a few questions. If you have questions about it, you can call the law firm and talk to them about that as well until you're done with it. And then you just click submit at the very end when you're done. A submitted traffic ticket. This was one of my most favorite pieces of it. I've gotten a few.
She's got lead foot.
No, but here's how it works. So you either put yes or no that you your traffic ticket has a court date, and then you can actually click on take photo ticket or ticket photo allow, and then oops.
Yeah, open settings.
Okay. All right, so then what you do is you actually just take a picture. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close out of that, Coach Jen. That's okay.
Okay.
All right, so you just take a picture with your phone because we're using Zoom and this. And then it automatically you push submit, and it actually sends your ticket straight to the law firm. How cool is that? I mean, you get a ticket, you go pull over somewhere, you take a picture of your ticket, and you send it straight to your law firm. Your law firm will call you back within several business hours. So just having the access to this is amazing. I'm going to tell my story real quick, if that's okay.
Oh, about Atlanta?
No.
Yeah, tell them about Atlanta.
So I'm driving back from New Mexico, and actually I get a ticket in Georgia. The cop was on the overpass. He ends up pulling me over. I was in between two cars, keep in mind. The other cars took off, and I'm actually the one in the back now. And so the police officer decides to pull me over. So to make a long story short, he gives me a speeding ticket, was very rude, gave me the speeding ticket, and I automatically went to the nearest location where I could pull over, sent the ticket up to my law firm. My law firm calls me back and is consulting with me on it and said, Krystal, now because you live in the state of Florida and you got your ticket in Georgia, we don't want you having to drive all the way back. So let's see if we can do a teleconference hearing, because we also don't want you to pay the ticket, because if you pay it, you're automatically admitting guilt, which then what happens whenever the points get put on your record? What happens to your insurance rates? They go up for 3 years. So I ended up, the attorney ended up calling the courthouse to see if we could do a teleconference hearing. So on a Tuesday afternoon, I am three-way phone called into my law firm and the courtroom. So my attorney's on the phone with me in the courtroom.
Wow.
Over the phone. The attorney speaks on my behalf. I end up only getting a 30-day deferred sentence, and which just simply means don't get a ticket for 30 days and it's wiped clean.
Oh, okay.
And I just had to pay my court fees, but I didn't have to leave my home. I didn't have to pay insurance, rates going up for 3 years. So the power behind this was just amazing. The other one is ask legal questions. So you can go in here. We have Erin, who is our little bot here. You can ask her something like maybe will preparation. If we just typed in will preparation, or let's just put will, see what it says. Boom. Now she talks to us a little bit about creating your will and how to situate that. So that's pretty cool. You can talk to her on your time. All right, so let's go back. All right, the next area is submit document for review. This one has saved us tons and tons of money over the years. So anytime before you sign a contract or sign a document, you want to have your attorneys review it. Here is where you would send it. You just attach your file or take a photo of your contract or document. It's that simple, and you send it straight up to your law firm for review. And we've already given some testimonials about that. Another area that I want to talk to you about is this bottom one, which is our emergency legal access, which gives you access 24 hours, 7 days a week. Now, this is kind of the topic that we were talking about. If you're questioned, you're detained, you're arrested, you're being pulled over because you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, you're the wrong skin color, you're the wrong ethnicity, you're the wrong female or male, whatever the case might be. And I take this to heart. 2 o'clock in the morning, you're being pulled over, you're being questioned, detained, or arrested. Coach 10, who do you call at that moment?
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. Right?
I saw the movie.
You know, and I always hear people say, you know, you have the right to remain silent,
Yep.
and you have the right to call who?
An attorney.
An attorney. But what good is having that right if we don't have an attorney to call at 2 o'clock in the morning? Right?
And I guess for me, guys, this is where the tire meets the road, right? So obviously, being a person of color, I've noticed there's definitely a difference in how I am treated with having my attorney on the phone while we are, you know, having a conversation. It's a conversation at that point, but you know, it's not really authoritative. And number 3, I just think having a mediator helps de-escalate all situations, right? So whether, you know, you're worried about your son in college because maybe he's really extroverted and he loves to wear his heart on his sleeve, guess what? He can now make the smart decision if he has the app to go, hey, you know what? Let me call my lawyer, because you don't want to argue, you know, from a place of not knowing. I've never studied the law. I don't know the law. So, you know, just having the expert there kind of has that, you know, it's kind of like, you know, when married couples go for counseling, right? The counselor is an expert, and having a third party to kind of edify what both sides are communicating helps de-escalate the entire situation. And this is what we really wanted to share, is kind of like when you're driving around down the road, how are you protecting yourself? You know, do you have that insurance policy? Because this service is absolutely amazing. And one of the things that Coach K is pulling up right now is the member perks. I love using this, and pretty much the member perks pay for the service itself.
Yeah, most definitely.
You want to expand upon that?
Yeah, definitely. So the member perks program comes with every single membership. So whether it's a legal service, or we also have another service which is called the ID Shield, which protects your identities. This comes with this service, and it is amazing. So anytime you ever go to purchase anything online, or any clothing, flowers, tires for your vehicle, we always go to this app. This is a cool part because you can get discounts for the movies. We save $30 every time. I think we're only paying like $8 at the movies.
Yeah.
So just purchasing everything through here. So this is a member perks program. You have a lot of like doctors and nurses who have like some type of perks program through like the hospital and stuff. So we're getting this same access as well. One of the cool things you can do is go in here, and if we go into local discounts, we can click on the local discount part, and you can actually see what is in your area at that moment. As far as restaurants go, we get discounts at restaurants, all kinds of cool stuff. So I don't know if this is going to pop up right away, but the internet's running. I think everybody's probably online about right now. But let's go ahead.
And we've got 4 laptops and a desktop that are all running the computers right now and streaming live both on Zoom and YouTube. So the Wi-Fi might be a little bit
That's okay.
overwhelmed.
So whether you're buying a vehicle, we have an auto financing buying vehicle section where you can actually have somebody help negotiate the rate for you as well. If you're renting a vehicle, restaurants, all kinds of cool stuff, different types of insurance. What else do we have here? Samsung, if you're trying to purchase something through Samsung, TurboTax, all kinds of cool stuff. So I just wanted to share this with you guys because this in itself pays for my service every month. So I just wanted to share that with everybody.
Coach K, how much does the service cost per month? That's one of the questions we have in the YouTube chat right here.
Awesome. Yeah, so depending on what service you get, we're looking, I think we have that, right? Let me go through it. Oh, yeah, so we actually have that. It's $24.95 per month. And let me go back to this one over here real quick. We'll get back to where we were.
I'm sorry, did you say $24.95?
$24.95.
That's less than $1 a day, people.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
To have yourself worry less and live more, Sounds like a smart choice to me.
Most definitely, you know, especially in today's society, to be able to have that 24 hours, 7-day a week access to the law firm, I think is huge.
Oh, so you can actually. Oh, can I do
Go
this?
for
Can I
it,
do this?
try it.
Hey Google, does LegalShield have membership coverage under insurance claims?
On the website legalshield.com, they say, no, your spouse and eligible dependents are covered under your family membership. Who is covered under my LegalShield legal plan family membership?
Hey Google, does LegalShield membership cover insurance claims?
On the website legalshield.com, they say, LegalShield plans cover both landlords and tenants.
That's awesome.
All right, awesome. So hey guys, if you wanna, kind of ask Google any questions about LegalShield, you can. I mean, do your research, find out, protect yourself, worry less.
All right.
All righty, so I guess we're kind of coming up to the end here. And we just wanted to, so what other plans do you guys have? I know I kind of asked Google about the family plans. So who's covered and how does it all work?
Yeah, definitely. So we have a multitude of plans. We actually have individual personal plans for your family plans. We have small business plans that protects the small business owner up to 100 employees. We have identity theft plans. We also have group employee benefit plans to help the employees of a company. So we have ton of different plans, but our staple plan that we just went over was our legal plan. Now we do have, this will cover yourself, your family, up to 10 dependents. It covers your significant other or spouse.
Yay.
If you have both,
Whoa,
you definitely need this plan.
Oh, okay.
It also covers any children up to the age of 18 whom you're the legal guardian of, and up to the age of 26 as well, still going to college. So yeah, definitely. I hope that you guys enjoyed the information. I would hope that you guys just share this with people. Again, 24 hours, 7 days a week, access to an attorney. God forbid you're in the wrong place at the wrong time. Our website is here. This is what it would look like. You would just click down, click LegalShield membership, and then just click submit. Or if you're an HR representative, you can click HR benefits, click submit, and we'll take care of your employees as well.
So guys, we just want you to not get mad out there. There is services and provisions that can help protect you, help de-escalate any situations that may arise out here, especially if you're a minority. Even if you're not a minority, it's just a lot of people are just, a little scared. And so give yourself some protection, live more, worry less. That's our motto. And so, do you want to add any more?
I think just as with everything that's coming, down, COVID is kind of starting to go away, thank goodness. But definitely get everything reviewed that you can, from your health insurance plans, all the gray areas that might be in your car insurance. Get those things reviewed, because there's a lot of questions that are out there right now that I know we've had a lot of influx of questions.
Alrighty, guys, thank you so much. We've come to the end of our podcast today. Thank you, Ms. Krystal, for sharing so much of a beautiful service that can help protect and serve Americans throughout all 50 states. And so we would like to thank our sponsors.
Yeah, definitely. We want to thank ID Shield, helping protect your most valuable asset, your good name. Mukosa Shops, helping you protect yourself during this time. And then Mukosa Golf, helping you with all your golf needs, from instruction to charity events and everything in between. We want to thank you for everything that you have done for us, Coach Ten. And thank you for allowing me to be on your podcast today.
Oh, thank you so much. And we've got more chats coming in, guys. We're going to have a follow-up session with Coach K. So we look forward to seeing you guys in the near future. Thank you so much, and stay ahead of the curve.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bluetooth auxiliary mode.